workshop. My name is Busayo Motuba. I am the lead coach front-end development at Good Fortune. Before I go straight into the workshop, I think it is important for us to know who we are at Code 14. So at Code 14, Code 14 is a research lab that is focused on empowering educational systems to teach computer language as a classroom subject from as early as elementary level. So that is our objective at Code 14. Once again, I want to welcome everybody to this workshop. Also, before moving forward, I think it is important to know the reason why we are here. So this particular workshop is organized by Google and is brought to you by Code 14. The aim and objective of this workshop is to train teachers across school so that teachers can go ahead to their individual school to train their students on how to be safe while they're on the internet. This particular workshop is organized for pupils from the age of 7 to 14 years of age. So, as a teacher that is coming to take this training, we should have at the back of our mind that we are taking this training to be able to impart into young ones. So I'm excited about this. So if you are excited too, let's jump in. So let's talk about it. So like I've said earlier, that the training is organized, is majorly focused on age 7 to 14. Every teacher that is going to attend this training, or every teacher that is currently attending this training, must bear at the back of their mind that the training is not a one-off thing. That is, it's not a training whereby it's only the teacher that will be talking. So we need to allow the students to participate fully whenever the training is going on. And the ways by which you can, make them to participate in the training is to actually ask them some couple of questions. Is to make them to ask some couple of questions from them. So, as this particular training is designed, there are a lot of techniques that is on ground for us to look at on how we can actually, ensure that the student participate fully while the training is going on. So, when the training is going on, and since this particular training is basically about how the student can be safe on the internet. So while the training is going on, teachers can ask them a question like, ask them to raise their hand up if they have ever used the internet. They can ask them to raise their hand up if they've used the internet once in a month, or if you use the internet once in a week, or once a day, however the case may be, right? So the student will be eager to raise up their hand. You see them raising up their hand, now attempt to answer your question, and you'll be amazed with the kind of question, the kind of answer you get from them. So at this level, the students are fully ready. They now know what the training is all about, and they want to hear more. So let's dive in and see what is next in the next slide. All right. So since this training is basically about internet and how students can be safe on the internet, and as part of the strategy that I mentioned earlier on how we can fully bring the students, the pupils into the conversation, this is another strategy. So at the beginning of the training, teachers should endeavor to ask them various questions about the usage of the internet. So we shouldn't shy away from the fact that the student are already using the internet, they're already using it, right? So we shouldn't shy away from the fact that they're already using it, even they're using it more than we do as an adult. So we can ask them like, do you use the internet to chat with friends? Do you use the internet to do your homework? Do you use the internet to share photos of yourself and family? Do you use the internet to share funny photos and videos? So with this particular methodology, the student will respond back. They will give you their response, and they will tell you how they've been using the internet. Right. So that is the strategies we can use to actually like bring the student into the conversation. So now let's go fully into this workshop, and let's see how we can actually ensure that our students and our pupils are safe on the internet. So I move to the next slide. So I'm sure we still remember that we're talking about how students can be safe on the internet. And the internet is a great place to be. The internet is an awesome place to be. So, in fact, that is what is happening over the world. The internet is there. Everybody's on the internet. Everybody is using the internet. So the internet is really good. However, as a teacher, we should try as much as possible to let the student know that despite the fact that the internet is a very good place to be, they should also be on the lookout for some bad effects or some bad guys on the internet. So these guys, they are there just as we are there. So they are also using the internet. So they are there to on a different mission, right? So we should be careful and we should be on the lookout for them. So we have four category of bad guys we can overcome on the internet. The first one is oversharer. The second one is the hacker. The third one is the fisher, and the fourth one is the troublemaker. So putting them together, they are there on the internet, and these guys are the reason why we need to train our students on how they need to be extraordinarily careful when they are on the internet, because these guys can easily maneuver our young ones. It might be difficult for them to, although that does not mean they can't get hold of adults, but it should be easy for them to actually like penetrate into young ones. Right. So as a teacher, we should take it upon ourselves to educate them, to like open their mind to what is on the internet, both the good and the bad. So having said that, let's look at what we have next, the next slide. All right, so we have been talking about the internet. I'm sure we're following, and already made mention of how the internet is a great place to be, and also the danger that can come with using the internet. Now, we are talking about the internet, and we are trying to train our students on how they need to compose themselves, on how they need to be safe, how we need to secure them while they're on the internet. So we need to talk about how to be an internet hero, because we need to let them know that they can't be an internet hero until they are safe on the internet. They can't be an internet hero until they are able to like defeat those guys that we mentioned earlier in the last slide. So it is important for them to be an internet hero and hero is. So to qualify as a true hero of the internet, you must be sharp, you must be strong, kind, and brief online. So these 5 tips will help you get, it will help you get there with cares. You won't fall for fake, then you secure your secret. It's good to be kind on the internet. And when little ones are not sure, when they are not sure, they need to talk out to a trusted adult. So as a teacher, we should try as much as possible to train a student, to let them know that for them to be an internet hero, they need to be able to like relegate those guys to the background and render them powerless. So let's move to the next slide and let's start looking at the 5 characteristics of how to be an internet hero. Let's look at them one after the other. So we start with be sharp and share with care. Right. So when we're on the internet, or when our little ones are on the internet, as a teacher, we want to guide them on how to share with care. The internet connects various people together. The internet is just like a small village that brings together everybody, so we can reach friends near and far. Right. So when we are sharing on the internet, we should educate the students to put it at the back of their mind that once a particular information is shared, or when they send a particular information on the internet, it stays there forever and it go out of their reach. They no longer have any control over it whatsoever. So in trying to like build them, in trying to train them to be secure on the internet, we need to let them cultivate the habit of sharing with care. So let's go to the next one and let's see what we have. So we are talking about how to be careful when we are sharing on the internet. So in this conversation, when teachers are having training with the student, they should try and ask them to raise up their hand if they've seen this particular picture before. It's a video actually. So this video is about a man. His name is Salt Bay. So Salt Bay is just preparing a barbecue piece of meat, and he uploaded it on the internet. And guess what happened to Salt Bay video? Now Salt Bay video now has over 6 million views, and it has now been remade over the world into different style. A lot of people have made their own version of the particular video, as you can see on our screen, right? So some people they've even gone to the extent of printing it on a mug. Some people printed it on their shirts, right? So this is just to tell us that we need to be conscious and train our students that if they're going to share, they need to be careful what they share on the internet. So this last example is about some comedian guys. You know, they produce a particular comedy, video. The video already have like 10 million views on the YouTube alone. Although this kind of video is not harmful, this kind of video is just, I think the aim and objective of this video will be to like entertain our viewer, right? This kind of video, there's nothing wrong with it. But what if this kind of video is an embarrassing video? So this is how it will go viral. Right, so we need to, as a teacher, when we are training them, we need to let them know that if at all they're going to share, they need to share with care. They need to be careful of what they share on the internet. So here we come. We now talk about the second danger on the internet. This one they are called the oversharer. So oversharer can be anybody. So oversharer can be your friend, they can be your close friend, and they can pose a lot of dangers. So oversharer tend to share too much of information on the internet. By so doing, they compromise your security. So let's study them in detail. So like I've said, you never know who oversharer could be. So you know who I'm talking about, the ones who love to share and spread information about others. I'm sure that at some point you have either seen or heard about a picture or post that go out of hand because of screenshot and oversharing. So once you share information, it might be able to go anywhere all over the web. Now let's look at what the kind of information that students, that little want to be careful to share on the internet. The kind of information they need to protect on the internet. Example number one is the password, their private images, the bank information, and their home address. So all of these, they need to be careful when they're sharing. You shouldn't share this kind of information on the internet. And the reason, one of the reasons, because of this guy is called oversharer. So all what oversharer needs to do is just to get hold of particular information and help you to disseminate it over the internet. Right. So that is their job. So as a teacher, when we're having a session to let them know that if they're going to share at all, there are some things they can't share and they should be on the lookout for oversharer. Let's go to the next slide. So we have been talking about how to share with care on the internet. So does that mean we shouldn't share at all? Does that mean it's a sin to share? No, it never is sin to share on the internet. So there are a lot of things we can do to actually like control who see what we share on the internet by checking our setting. So we need to like train the student and let them get close to their, their settings to teach them how to use the settings features on their phone. So with what we can see on the screen, this is just an example of someone having gossip on the internet. So the first person is saying, "I hate my teacher," and the other one is responding like, "Me too." So they having a kind of conversation on the internet, forgetting that the person they're talking about is they have the person that their friend, and the person is just responding to their gossip that, "Do you realize we are friends online?" Right. So this Oh, okay. Welcome back. So, we're sorry for what happened actually. So, because of the internet network. So, we're sorry for that. So, we'll continue from where we stopped. So, I'm going to go to the slide where we're talking about before the internet went off. Welcome back. We were talking about how to be careful when we're sharing on the internet before the thing went off. So looking at what we have on our screen, what we are saying, we are not saying that the students shouldn't share when they're on the internet. Of course, they can share, but they need to be able to control who they are sharing with. And with their phone settings, with their platform setting, they can actually like control who needs to see what they're sharing on the internet. So just like in the real world, you share things with different people. What you're going to share with Mr. A is definitely going to different uh, from what you're going to share with Mr. B. For example, the fact that you allow people to go into your bedroom does not mean you should allow them to be, scattering or popping over your stuff. So the whole world is the same. You want to be sure that friend, family, and stranger only see what you are sharing on the internet. It's a good idea to have a look at your share settings and talk with a trusted adult about the information you want them to get on the internet, the information you want them to have access to on the internet. And the only way you can do that is to get yourself familiar with your internet, with your phone settings, so that you can be able to regulate who you want to them to see your information on the internet. So let's move to the next slide. So this slide is actually talking about how to share positively on the internet. So as a teacher, we should endeavor to train the student that if at all they're going to share on the internet, they should try to share positive information. So sharing can be an incredible force of good if done in the right way. We're going to watch a video now, and I want you to think about what's happening in the video. When teachers are engaging their students, they should endeavor to play this video to them. Although we're not going to play this video in this workshop because of our time, so teachers should endeavor to tell the student to watch the video and tell them what they think is happening in the video. So basically, the video is not going to demonstrate to us how we can share positive things on the internet. So a lot of emphasis should be made on sharing on the internet and how the student can control their information on the internet by going to settings, by adjusting their phone settings, their computer settings, their whatever platform they are using to access the internet. They should be able to control the settings. Let's go to the next slide and see what we have. So at this particular slide, teachers should put their students into group, put them in pairs of group, ask them to think about things that are not okay to share with anyone without permission. Ask them what is okay to share with friends and family. What are the things that is okay to share with friends and family? What is okay to share with everyone? So looking at what we have on our screen. So I would like for us to put what we see in the comment box. If it is okay to share with anyone without permission. So out of what we have here, what do we think it is okay to share with anyone without permission? So I would like to have comments in the comment box. The second one, is it okay to share with family and friends? So what can we advise or educate our students to share with family and friends? What can we advise them to share with everyone? So that is what this particular slide is all about. So I would appreciate if we can drop our answer or what we think in the comment box. So let's play is design for the purpose of this workshop to enable us to have a lot of fun, to enable us to play some game. I'll put it that way. So let's play is a true or false statement. We are going to be going over some questions, and I will need you to answer if true or false. So the same thing we are going to be doing for the student. So when we are training them, we shall allow them to play the let's play and ask them if true or false. So, like I've said earlier, the only means we can hinder the bad guys from getting our information is by preparing to fight them. So when we know what we want, when we know what we want the world to see and what we don't, we can make informed decision about what we circulate online. So let's play the true or false statement game. So the first game is once it is on the internet, it stays there forever. True or false? So you ask the student and they'll give you the answer. Let's go to the next slide. So it's actually true. Once you share any information on the internet, it stays there forever. 1.37 billion people use the internet. True or false? So I want us to put what we think. I want us to put it in the comment box if it is true or if it is false. So I'm going to reveal the answer. So it's actually true. So that will confirm that there are a lot of people on the internet already, and more people are still going to join as we move further into the 21st century, because the internet is an awesome place to be. Let's look at another one. People like becoming memes and going viral. True or false? Let's look at the answer. It's mostly false. I think we still have another one. Sharing online can reveal our location. True or false? So when you share online, can you actually reveal our location? So if for example, if I'm a kid and I share something on the internet without revealing my location, without make people to know where I'm staying. So I would like for us to drop our answer or what we think in the comment box. So let's look at this together. Actually, it's actually true. Okay, this one is saying if I don't share with my parents, they won't see it. True or false? So let's look at the answers together. It's false. We just completed the one session of the documentation. So we just concluded the sharp on the internet and share with here. So I think we can congratulate ourselves. So whenever we are teaching the student, we should congratulate them because they just learned something useful for them whenever they are on the internet. So let's go to the next slide and let's see what we have. So let's talk about how to be strong and secure our secrets on the internet. Uh, as a teacher, when we are training the students, we should educate them to be strong and secure their secrets whenever they are on the internet. The next essential skill for any internet hero is to be strong and secure their secrets. So as an internet hero, you want to be strong and secure your secret. Let's look at it. Let's look at it in details. So we might be asking ourselves, why do we need to be strong and protect our secret on the internet? It is done because of the hacker. So the hackers are there. Don't forget the hackers are the second bad guys on the internet that we have on our list. So we need to be careful because of the hacker. That's why we need to be strong. So teachers should endeavor to encourage the students to be strong on the internet. And like I said earlier, this hacker they can easily manipulate young ones. They might access your account and your personal information. You can post a lot of dangers. You can go into your private information and all that. So we are going to be looking at how we can deal with hacker from the point of password. So this is a password. This is a demonstration asking if this particular password can be cracked. So looking at what we have on our screen, there's a password from 1 to 3, and the first one is a number. The second one is a word, and the third one is also a word. So unfortunately, most people make it too easy for hackers to gain access into their device. There's a popular password that people are using that can easily be guessed, that people can easily guess about it. Example is what we have on the screen. Like the first one, you imagine that people can be using they can be using number of their password, like one we have on the screen, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So these are weak passwords that can easily be guessed by a hacker. So whenever you're having this session with students, put them in pairs, ask them to get this particular password we have on the screen. Then before you reveal the answer to them. Now let's reveal the answer. Let's review what is missing in the password. So as you can see, 4 is what is missing in the first one. Let's see what is missing in the second one. We can see what is missing in the second one. We have double S and how at the right hand side. Together is password, simply password. So you can imagine someone using password as the password. So it can easily be guessed by hacker. The third one is hello. So these are all weak passwords, and we should discourage our students from using the weak password. Now that we know what a weak password is, what is a strong password? Or how do we create a strong password? So you just like we have been doing, you put the student in group, ask them to think about what a strong password is before you reveal the answer. So let's look together. Let's look at it together. What a strong password is. A strong password must contain at least 8 to 12 characters. A strong password must be mixed with number and letter. A strong password must contain uppercase and lowercase character. A strong password must have a special character. The special character like the hashtag, the dollar sign, and so on and so forth. Now let's see how we can memorize. Now that we know what is a strong password, now that we know how to create a strong password, let's learn how to memorize it. So as a teacher, it is our job to train the student how to create a strong password and also teach them how to memorize it. So we're going to be discussing techniques on how to create a strong password. Right, so looking at what we have on our screen, one way to create a strong password is to swap out the letter with special characters or number that look like the letter in some way. That is, you swap letter and character, you swap them, you exchange them. With this, you come up with strong password. So write it with a friend, you try to connect the letter with its special character or number. Right, so if you're trying to create a strong password, you can tell the student to create a password from their favorite story, their favorite story, so they can take their favorite story and just pick out some words from it and put it together to form a password. Now a strong password now. So always remember to put the students in pairs of group and ask them to try it out. Tell them to form a password, to form a strong password. So like I've said, and as we have seen, some ways to create a strong password is by having a number from 8 to 12 at least, by putting character and words together. So like what we have in our screen, we can see that we're having letter and number putting together. We can even see a character like the exclamation mark. So with these, we can put them together and come up with a strong password. So to enable the students to memorize their password, ask them to write it down on a sheet of paper. You can ask them to write it on a sheet of paper like twice, and you can even call some of them to the chalkboard. Tell them to come and write on the board without looking at what they've written on the sheet of paper. So you can ask them to repeat like twice, and if they're able to do it, you'll be rest assured that they can now memorize their password. Right, so we have been talking about how to create a strong password. Now let's look at the samples of how we can educate our students to form a strong password. So like I said, they can generate password from their favorite story. Like the one we have on the screen, my little brother Hassan was born in November. So from here, they can actually take the first letter of each word and just put it together to form the password, or like the first two words of each letter of each word. to form a password. So we also have some other examples. Let's look at them together. Right, let's look at this one. Use the first letter from some or all the words in your phrase. So with all this example, students can be able to create a strong password. So after we are done with that, it is now time to ask the student that can they remember their password. So you see them raising up in their hand, and if they give you a right answer, then rest assured that they actually like learned how to create a strong password, and they can also remember it. So this is very important for students for their security on the internet. So let's go to the next one. Oh, this slide is talking is just like a game, but this one is derived from the let's play, but it's also a game. This has to do with do or don't. So unlike the let's play, so you just ask the students what they think either true, either do or don't. So let's look at the questions we have and let's try to answer them. I would appreciate if we can put our comments in the comment box. Yeah, the first example is use a unique password for each of your important accounts, do or don't. So that is for each of your important accounts, use a unique password for them. Does that make sense? Is that what we want to do? Is it do or don't? So you ask the students and they're going to give you the answer. So it's actually true. So you do. It's actually do. So you use a unique password for all your accounts. So that is, each account should have their own unique password. Now, yeah, this is another one. Use personal information, name, address, phone number when you make a password. Do or don't. So it's actually done. So you don't do that. You don't use your personal information as your password because people that know you can easily guess your password. So this is what we have in the next 2 to 3 slides. So I'm going to skip over them, but it's very important as a teacher when we are training the students to endeavor to like take our time to cover it so they can see the samples that we have. So we are going to take this one before we move forward. Use a password that is easy to guess, like your nickname of favorite baseball team. Do or don't. Let's endeavor to put our comments in the comment box. So it's actually done. So you don't use a password that is easy to get, like your nickname. So people can even know your nickname and they can get access into your personal information. So we're going to like go past the sample we have so that we can go to the next topic. Right, so again, I want to congratulate us. We just finished another aspect of how we can ensure that our students are safe on the internet. Now let's look at the third one, which is be alert and don't fall for fake. So be alert and don't fall for fake is actually like it has to do with the facial. So facial, you can basically describe them as fake people on the internet. So they are fake people on the internet. They tend to disguise, so they can gain access into your personal information by tricking you to believe that they are real, but they can pretend to be your friend, thereby harming your device with malware. So we should be on the lookout for them. And as a teacher, we should endeavor to make emphasis on the finisher. They are there on the internet. They don't write it on their head, they're just there to perpetrate their evil. Right. So let's see how we can spot a feature or how we can identify a feature on the internet. So how do you spot a feature? So we have some couple of examples. So I'm going to try to go over some of them. I won't go over some of them, and I will just take some and discuss them so that to actually paint a picture of what we're talking about here. But as a teacher, don't forget to like take your time to cover them when you're training the students. So like the one we have on the screen, if you look at this carefully, we notice that this looks like a message, and the message read thus: oh my God, click here to win $1 million and see everyone who is in love with you. You know, this is actually hilarious, right? So one can tell that this is a work of a finisher. So in this kind of scenario, it's a good idea not to click on link unless you are 100% sure it's illegal. So I'm appealing to us teachers, when we are training these students, we should put it in their mind. We should cultivate the habit of making investigation or be sure a particular link before they click on it. So let's try to see another example. This is another example. This example is also okay. This example is just like it look like a mail, like it looks like a mail, but the only way we can discover that this person or this particular email is from a fisher is by looking at the web address. So looking at the web address here and looking at what we have on the screen, we notice that this particular site is actually fake. It's actually fake because the web URL, the web address is not correlated with what we have on the screen. So all these are the work of a fencer. So all these are work of a fencer. So they are there. They are there to confuse people. So let's look at another example of how fencer can actually like pretend to be someone we know. Let's look at how we can spot a fencer. Right. So whenever teacher are engaging students, they should try as much as possible to ask them a question about the future. How can they discover a future? How can they spot the future? Or how can they discover if a particular site is real or fake? And that's what we're about to do. Let's dive in. So for us to be able to know that a particular site is real or fake, we should find out if the site is a trustworthy site. Does it have badges? Does the site URL match the name and title you are looking for? Does the offer seem too good to be true? I'm sure you understand what I'm talking about. There's an offer that when you look at them, you just go like, this can be true, you know. So just like everybody is just expecting manna. So manna is there. I'm not sure manna C4. So when you look at some offer, you know that this can be true. Are there any pop-up? So you should be on the lookout for pop-up. Does the URL start with HTTPS and preceded by a green padlock. So these are little things we should be conscious of, and as a teacher, we should train the students to be on the lookout for this, to put this at the back of their mind. Is the person or the site asking you to reveal private information? So putting all this together, we can rest assured to know whether a site is real or fake. So here comes the let's play again. So we're going to be going over let's play and see what we have. I'm sure by now we already know what let's play is all about. So let's dive in. So this is an example of a message received by someone. It's just we're just using this example to demonstrate what is possible and what is not. So let's look at this together, real or fake. So just like I've been saying in this presentation, I would like for us to endeavor to share our perspective or what we think in the comment box. So looking at this message, the message body is saying, "Dear Shirley, a big thank you for your membership with us because you have been such an amazing member. We would like to upgrade you to premium at no extra cost." So you can ask yourself, is this real or fake? Okay, here comes another example. So this is a website, and with what we can see on our screen, this website is depicted with a company selling snacks, the donuts specifically. And looking at their URL, looking at the address bar, we can see that the address, the URL correlates with what they're projecting, with what they are selling. So with this, we can tell that this is a real website. So it's actually real. Okay, so I'm going to use this as a last example on how to discover whether the site is real or fake, and also how to discover a feature on the internet. I'm looking at this message saying, "Congratulations, you have won an iPhone." You know, it sounds exciting, right? So I'm sure we do get this kind of message. So as a teacher, we should teach our students to be on the lookout for this kind of message. They are actually fake. They're actually fake. You know, before you can win something, you must have applied for something, right? But without applying for anything, you just pop up on your phone saying that congratulating you that you've won an iPhone. So we don't want to jump on this kind of offer. It's actually fake, and it's the work of the finisher. We need to be careful about this. So I'm going to go over what we have. So they're just a sample of how we can discover if a site is real or fake. Again, congratulations to us again. We just concluded another topic on how we can ensure that our students are safe on the internet. So let's see what we have next. Be kind. It's cool to be kind. So whenever we're on the internet, it's actually good to be kind. We have been discussing on how to be safe, how to share with care, how to be on the lookout for feature. But does that mean that you can't just be a good person on the internet? No, we can be a good person on the internet. And when we are trying to be a good person, when we are trying to be kind, we should watch out for the troublemakers. So the troublemakers are there. So they're one of the bad guys on the internet. They are there, they hurt your feelings. They are there to spoil your mood. So most of the time, they don't have anything good to say. They are the one you see with bad emojis and a whole lot of embarrassing and discouraging information on the internet. So let's try to study them so that we can be careful about them when we see them on the internet. So let's look at ways to share information, to share kindness online. So how can we share kindness online? Excuse me. So we are going to be looking at some scenario. For example, like this now, someone find your friend's phone and sent a really mean message about another student to a bunch of people on excuse me, on a soccer team. So this kind of scenario, we can ask the student that what do they think about this? What can you do in this scenario as a little one? What can you do? So when someone found your friend's phone and sent a really mean, an embarrassing message about another student to a bunch of people on the soccer team, what can you do? So it's a chance for us to exercise our kindness on the internet. Here's another one. This one, someone is posting seriously mean comments about one of the students in the class on your class blog. What can you do? There's an online game that a bunch of your friends play a lot. This one time, one player starts saying really nasty stuff about one of your friends who is playing, and they just won't stop. So looking at all of this scenario, putting them together, we will see that they are the handwork of the troublemakers. So troublemakers can take advantage of this kind of situation and try to like cause trouble and try to put two people's head together, and try to create enmity whatsoever. So we should try to avoid them and try to be kind to anybody that is in a particular circumstances and try to extend help. Try to help people on the internet by giving them the right information, by telling them what they need to do at the right time, even by even sharing the good emojis, it should go a long way. So as a teacher, we try to train the students, just as they want to be kind to people physically, they should also exercise the same thing on the internet. They shouldn't be carried away that, okay, I'm on the internet, so I'm alone, I'm on my own, nobody is seeing me. A lot of people are seeing you. So people will see your reaction towards a lot of things. So teachers should endeavor to make a lot of emphasis on how to be kind on the internet. So, okay, so these are the 4 ways we can be kind on the internet in a nutshell. In a summary, don't pass on gossip. Yeah, don't block mean or inappropriate behavior. Support others. Be an upstander. Take responsibility. So looking at this and with what I've already mentioned, we can see it go hand in hand. It complements each other. So teachers will endeavor to train their students and actually let them be aware of all this. So again, congratulations to us. We just finished another aspect. So we are moving to the last topic. So if you are getting excited, I'm excited too. Let's move forward. So the last we have on the list is the brief when in doubt and talk it out. So how do we ensure that our students are brief on the internet? So when they're on the internet, they should be able to say something. They should be able to talk it out. They shouldn't go mute. They should talk it. They should talk out when necessary. They should report and block inappropriate contents. They should get proof, and they shouldn't be afraid. They shouldn't be afraid. So let's talk about it. What do you do in this kind of scenario? Let's say you get a chat from someone with whom you are not familiar with. For example, I saw you in, for example, like one we have here. So this particular quote is saying that I saw you in the math class today. You are cute. What is your address? Can I come over to hang out? So in this kind of scenario, as a little one, they can be tend to fall for this. But we as a teacher, we should be able to guide them to let them know that if they fall into this is this scenario, they should speak with their parents. They should take advice from their parents. It's very important. Let's look at another scenario. You accidentally download the virus onto your computer. How can you respond? So as a listening one, when you're in this kind of scenario, they can be afraid and they may be confused, like in the sense that they might not know what to do next. So in this kind of scenario, they should be able to be open to their parents or a trusted adults on what to do, and they shouldn't keep mute because the virus can actually damage the system when they access to their system. So what we have is just an example of a scenario that students can encounter and why they need to be brief on the internet. So let's look at this last one together. You see a message that says everyone wears purple tomorrow, but don't tell not to.
Letter B for ball.
So this kind of scenario is just saying that they're trying to hide something from nature. So why do they hide something from nature? So the student wants to ask why. So they should be free to ask questions. It's very important.
Yes.
So again, congratulations to us. So we have just finished the 5 ways we can educate our students to be an internet hero. So let's go to what we have next. So looking at them all together, these are the 5 I'll call it pillar of how to be an internet hero. It is very important. We should allow the students to memorize it, allow them to learn it, and they shouldn't joke with it. It's very important as far as their security online is concerned. So at this junction, I'm happy to let us know that we are through with the workshop. And it has been so exciting this morning. We've actually learned a lot, we've covered a lot. So I'm urging us to go back to our school and train the students. So I need to mention to you, this particular documentation is going to be released to all schools. So we're going to release the documentation to all schools so that they can use it to train their students. Right, so I want to thank you for coming to this workshop. It has been fun since we started, and I want to remind you that we are Quick 14. So if there's any thing any school wants us to do for them, if there's anything they want portfolio to assist them with, they should reach out to us through our learner success, Bukola. So Bukola is going to be responding to comments that we take for this particular workshop. So that is it, and I want to thank everybody once again for coming. Bye.